Hello everyone, myself Dr. Tejas Shah. Today we will see about the 1 carbon metabolism under the protein metabolism lecture series. So before we start, let us see the overview. So amino acids catabolism will form some 1 carbon compound which are then further combined with some carriers, most commonly the tetrahydrofolic acid, and this combination will donate the 1 carbon compound to some precursors so as to form a newer compound or the products in our body. So we can see in a brief that the various catabolic pathways will form 1 carbon compound. This 1 carbon compound combines with the carriers, and then this carrier will donate this 1 carbon compound to form various products, so they are helpful in the anabolic pathways. So let us see first define the 1 carbon metabolism. So 1 carbon metabolism involves transferring of 1 carbon in the form of various oxidation status with the help of carriers to the metabolic intermediates. So let us see first some 1 carbon compounds. These are the examples: formyl, that is CHO group; formamino, that is CHNH; methanol, that is CH; hydroxymethyl, CH2OH; methylene, CH2; and methyl, that is CH3. You can see they are under the different oxidation status. So another important aspect here is the formic acid and the formaldehyde. When they are formed, they are very toxic. So to reduce the toxic effect, immediately they are combined to the carriers. So this is also one of the important aspect to note down. Now see important the carriers for this 1 carbon compound. The first is the folic acid. It is an important water soluble vitamin. Its active form is tetrahydrofolic acid, also symbolized as FH4, that is tetrahydrofolate. It carries the methyl, methylene, methanol, formamino and formyl groups. Next is carrier is the S-adenosyl methionine, that is also called adomate, and cobalamin, that is vitamin B12. With both these will carry the methyl groups. Folic acid also carries the methyl groups, but the transfer potential is more with S-adenosyl methionine, so it is the most preferred methyl group donor. And the third is the biotin, which carries the bicarbonate and carbon dioxide groups, but the carbon dioxide fixation and biotin dependent carboxylation reactions are generally not considered under the 1 carbon metabolism. Okay, so let us see some of the important attachment sites of 1 carbon unit on the carriers. So first in the folic acid, so the nitrogen in the folic acid provides the attachment site, in that the N5, N10 or both N5 and N10 acts as an attachment site. You can see here in the structure of the tetrahydrofolic acid that N5, N10 or both provide the attachment site. As adenosyl methionine, in that the sulfur will provide the attachment site for the methyl groups, and in cobalamin, that is vitamin B12, cobalt will provide the attachment site for methyl group. So collectively 3 important attachment site: one is the nitrogen, sulfur and the cobalt. So first we see the 1 carbons linked to the folic acid. So before that, we'll first see the activation of the folic acid to form tetrahydrofolic acid. So folic acid undergo the reduction by the enzyme dihydrofolate reductase, where you can see the 4 hydrogens are attached to the number 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see in the structure, so as to form the active tetrahydrofolic acid. Here in this reaction also, folic acid, the first reduction will give rise to hydrogen at the 2 position 7, 8, that is 7, 8 dihydrofolic acid. Further reduction will give rise to 2 hydrogen at the 5th and 6th position. So there is the total 4 hydrogens are added, So 5, 6, 7, 8 tetrahydrofolic acid. So this is the active form of folic acid, which acts as an important 1 carbon compound carrier. Now we see the important sources of 1 carbons which are linked to the folic acid. So here you can see serine, glycine are the most important sources of 1 carbon units. Then comes the histidine and tryptophan. So first serine is converted to form methylene tetrahydrofolic acid. How? With the help of the enzyme serine hydroxymethyl transferase reaction. So serine donated the methylene group to the tetrahydrofolic acid. So the serine is converted to the glycine with the help of the cofactor pyridoxal phosphate, that is vitamin B6, and one water molecule is removed. So here you can see there is formation of N5 N10 methylene tetrahydrofolate. Now come back to the previous slide. Glycine also converted to form methylene tetrahydrofolic acid by the glycine cleavage system. So here you can see the glycine cleavage system. So glycine upon decarboxylation, amino-methyl group is formed. Further methyl group is received by the tetrahydrofolic acid to form methylene tetrahydrofolate. This system also contains the lipoic acid as one of the important content of this active cleavage system, and also utilize the NAD plus as a oxidizing agent. Now coming back to the previous slide. So serine and glycine both will provide the methylene tetrahydrofolic acid, and this will further use to synthesize the serine methyl tetrahydrofolic acid, which is also further used to synthesize methionine. Methylene tetrahydrofolic acid is also helpful to synthesize thymidine monophosphate, which further incorporate into the DNA, so help in the DNA synthesis. Next important amino acid which provides the source of 1 carbon, that is histidine, will gives rise to the 4-amino tetrahydrofolic acid, and it is further converted to the methenyl tetrahydrofolate. Fourth is the tryptophan, which gives rise to the formation of the formic acid. So further it is converted to the formyl tetrahydrofolic acid, and it is further used to synthesize formyl methionine, purines, and carbon dioxide. So this 1 carbon compound linked to the tetrahydrofolic acid, they are interconvertible. So formyl tetrahydrofolate is converted to the methenyl tetrahydrofolate by dehydration. Further, this N5 N10 methenyl tetrahydrofolate is upon dehydrogenation reaction to form methylene tetrahydrofolate. This is the reversible reaction. Further, this methenyl tetrahydrofolate upon reduction, it is converted to N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. So this 1 carbon compound linked to the tetrahydrofolate, they are interconvertible. Next we see the 1 carbons linked to the vitamin B12, that is cobalamin and S-adenosyl methionine. So here this is a very important reaction. This is the further continuation of this N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate. So vitamin B12 receives the methyl group from N5 methyl tetrahydrofolate so as to convert to the methyl cobalamin, and the tetrahydrofolate is free, it becomes free. So this is an important reaction by which the active biological form of the folic acid is liberated in our body. So further methylcobalamin donate the methyl group to the homocysteine to form a methionine, an important methyl group carrier, and this methionine is activated to form S-adenosyl methionine. It is an important methyl group donor, so it will give this methyl group to the acceptor so as to convert it to the methylated product. So again the vitamin B12 play here a very important role in this reaction. So vitamin B12 deficiency can lead to the blockage of this reaction. So methyl tetrahydrofolic acid is accumulated, and that is how the tetrahydrofolate is trapped here. So sometimes it is also referred to as folate trap. Another important clinical link to notify here is the megaloblastic anemia that is seen in the B12 deficiency. So how it is there, or link, what is the reason behind it? So in this reaction we have seen the serine and glycine both are important sources for one carbon compound which are linked to the tetrahydrofolate. So methylene tetrahydrofolate is important to synthesize thymine, and further this incorporate into the DNA. This methylene tetrahydrofolate is converted to N-phenyl methyl tetrahydrofolate, which is further converted to the methionine with the help of the vitamin B12. The reaction just we have seen previously. So what happens in the vitamin B12 deficiency? You can see in these reactions, if vitamin B12 is deficient, methyl tetrahydrofolate is accumulated, means its level is increased. So this further inhibit the main reaction by which the serine is converted to methylene tetrahydrofolate. So its level is decreased. So methylene tetrahydrofolate level is decreased, so it will decrease the synthesis of thymidine, okay, or the thymine base, so which is further incorporated into the DNA. So DNA synthesis is decreased, so the erythrocytes precursors are accumulated, that is the megaloblasts are formed. So that is the link, important clinical link explained by the one carbon metabolism. So some significant points to remember for one carbon metabolism is N,5-formyl tetrahydrofolate is the more stable than the folate, which is further used pharmaceutically, that is known as folinic acid. Major point of entry for one carbon fragments into substituted folate is the methylene tetrahydrofolate. So this is the major entry point for one carbon fragments. Serine is the most important source of substituted folates. As we have seen the various sources of carbon compounds, so serine is the most important source. Cofactors for the one carbon metabolism are the folic acid, vitamin B12, and the pyridoxal phosphate, that is vitamin B6. So all these three important water soluble vitamins play a very important role in one carbon metabolism. As adenosine methionine, ADOMAT, is the preferred cofactor for biologically methyl group transfers. So you must remember these important points and one carbon metabolism. So thank you everyone. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button to get all the notifications. Thank you all.